Hi,
Right.
Dee, and hi, Neelu.
Hi, Seema. Welcome in, and thank you to all our listeners who've been here from the beginning. Thank you. I saw you here in from the beginning as
Yeah,
well.
she's been really waiting patiently. So I think now
No,
it's
I
time.
think it's actually. I'm sorry to cut you in, Z. I call her Z. It's absolutely a joy to listen into her all the time. I mean, be it Lenomo, be it Numero, and even be it angel card reading. She is beautiful. She's wonderful. As far as compatibility is concerned, well, I'm saying this like the way she teaches. It's like you get to apply it wherever you work as well. Now, when I'm saying this, I work with children. I am a teacher basically, apart from being in the occult sciences. And I have had, like, I used to teach children like from 6th to 10th, So this is a very kind of the year of change for children. From 6 onward, they come into that bracket of where they are so unpredictable, and you got to really have your finger on their pulse, and you can't just talk off your head, that kind of a thing. And I would make it a point to have a list of all their names with all their date of births. And then I would like I would have a conversation with each of the kids, like, okay, so is this your certificate date of birth, or is this what your original one is like? Because and that Z will tell you, because when you're learning, the significance of what is used and what is not. And it was very helpful for me to understand each child on that level, because number is energy, and
Number is
each
in.
person vibrates with that energy. So everyone here has a certain number, and they have been like curious, and once you get to know the numbers, it is like beautiful. Like, I'll just give you a small example. So I met these, like, I went to visit my son in his school, and he was in class 11th at that time. And all his friends came, hi auntie, hello auntie, and all of that. And then suddenly, auntie, so you do numero? I said, yes, I do. So what's your date of birth? So one of them said something. I said, okay, so you quarrel often with your mom, and the way you speak, it really cuts her to size. She says, how did you know? And I was like smiling. And then my favorite dialogue is, these kids, they'll say, now auntie is going to say this. I said, understand yourself by understanding the numbers. And it's like each child's nature unfolds in front of you. So if I had 40 children in a class, I knew each of them, their numbers by heart.
Wow. Now
Wow.
that is
That's one of the things. Like, date of births, yeah, date of births is not just that. Like, I knew, okay, this child this number, this child this number. And at the same time, there's another thing which I found is that after that, I headed a school which is my own, which was in an economically weaker section, area of the city. And there they couldn't afford huge fees. And now I had this, one child, his complaint would come repeatedly. He doesn't listen, he doesn't, he all the time is distracted, he keeps talking back. And I called the child in, I made him sit down, and I said, okay. And I wrote his name, I saw his date of birth, and then I called in the parents. I told them, you need to go to this counselor, you need to go to this person, not the counselor, and go and see him, because
yeah.
I have a feeling that this child has something that you need to take care of. Well, it came out, and I was right, it was ADHD.
There you go.
And a brilliant child, as in creative child. He used to be all the time wanting to just draw and paint. And
Very
he
understandable.
Yes,
That's
and
he's
he
a
didn't.
kinesthetic child.
Yes, and he didn't have control over his own movements. So poor child, he used to be like, and teachers thought that ego issue used to come up.
Oh,
So
it's a great tool actually. Numbers is a great tool in so
absolutely.
many different ways. Like teacher parent harmony. You can sort of know what kind of parents, like how they'll relate to the advice you
Yes,
give them also.
yes.
So
And
many
there's
things.
there's another thing, like, I used to hire teachers for my school. So what I would do is, I would, yeah, exactly, I would scan that. So And it has always worked for me. It has always worked for me. In fact, counseling the teachers is one of the things which I did, because all of them are ready to kind of, this I can't handle, this child is really like this. And especially in the kind of area we are, there you have children coming from kabadi walas, rickshaw walas, peon, all of that. And I am so proud to say this, that none of the none of the children there, they don't utter a single bad word when they enter the school. they
Wow.
they are not seen on the streets in the afternoons as they would be seen earlier. So
Right.
numbers play a huge role there,
Role.
in
Absolutely.
understanding the situation and understanding what motivates them, what would really get them to do something, and to understand the potential of each kid.
Yes.
And last, I'll say this, and then I'll
Please,
so I
please.
met a mother in a metro. Okay, I was traveling by metro, and I had my mom with me. And there was this mother, she was talking to somebody, and she was literally hassled, talking about a 17-year-old, that I don't know what will happen, ye bachcha kya karega. And I just tapped her on the shoulder. I said ki, after she had finished the call, I said, can I know, I mean, bachche ka naam kya hai or date of birth kya hai? She told me. And I said, okay. And then I started describing her son. She said, how do you know? I said, मगर आप जो कर रहे हैं वो तो बिल्कुल उल्टा है, और आपका बच्चा तो ये चाहता है. He says, हाँ. मैंने कहा, जब तक आप ये करेंगी तब तक आपका बच्चा तो बगावत करता ही रहेगा. आप ये कीजिए, ये कीजिए, ये कीजिए, ये कीजिए, and see how the changes happen. Because he was in 11th, and उसका वो not, हाँ 11th में था, and I said कि 12th आपके सामने है. आप अगर ये करेंगी तो you will have a happy kid who will do everything for you and for himself. She says, what do you do? I said, I set fire in the kid's bum so that they perform. And that mother was so thankful that and my mom, I was very proud to see that my mother, she was beaming, because she was so proud that her daughter
Had done something so amazing.
Yes. So this has happened all the while with me.
Mm.
Traveling on the road, in the bus, in the metro. But
So please,
numbers,
Fantastic.
please note, Neelu, it's all about compatibility and at
Yeah.
so many different levels, na? Like
absolutely.
from where to where.
Absolutely. Right. And just coming in very quickly here, because Seema you went into Hindi for a bit. We have an
Yeah, please.
international
Sorry.
audience.
Sorry.
So there's one bit where, there was a conversation happening in Hindi. I'm just quickly translating that bit for you. It was basically just an extension of what Seema had already mentioned before and said after, that she was telling the mother that your son, if he's in 11, he's about to go to 12, he is going to rebel if this is how you're going to be behaving. And when she had listed out the characteristics of her son, the mother was amazed that, how did you get all this? So Seema explained to her that, and she was able to do all this because of the compatibility calculation that she
Absolutely.
had done,
Yeah.
and was able to tell her that this is what you need to do and this is how you need to guide
So,
your son and support him.
yeah.
So that takes care of that.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
I didn't mention was that I had asked the mother's date of birth as well, because
Right.
that kind
That
of explains
allows you
that
Right.
to.
compatibility thing. So just
Right.
wanted to, yeah. Thank you so much.
You.
Fantastic.
Thank you
Seema,
so much.
thank you. Thank you. And in fact, Seema, really, thank you so much, because here what you've classically, look at that, Zennobiia. I'm on a call with you, and I'm using the word classically. Like, I think I've said it thrice already by now. It literally sums up what a compatibility thing is all about, and you don't have to have this limited view on it. So
Absolutely.